My name's LaCasse. I am the owner of SEO Expert Las Vegas. I've been doing SEO for about the last 5 to 6 years. There isn't anything I don't know about SEO. I'm actually hired by other marketing companies to save their clients. I've been doing this for about the last 4 months, and they always put me at the very end. So there's a bunch of people that come in, but the ones that, like yourself, are the ones that get the one-offs that come in here. I'm basically just going to go through this real quick, and any question you have about SEO, I'll literally answer it for you. Okay, cool. So let's break down the algorithm. This is as easy as it gets. The algorithm that we live by with Google is not this Illuminati machine that knows everything about what we do. It's very good at looking at your search history, but this is what they rank for. It's called search intent. Search intent comes down to informational, navigational, transactional, and commercial. So let's say we're a plumbing company, you and I. Informational intent is the name of the business, the location of the business, how much our services cost. That's informational, right? Navigational would be if we had a database where we were selling parts, right? And someone can log into our website and buy PVC or piping, right? You're navigating away from Google to a specific place, right? That's navigational. Transactional is who are the best plumbers? How quickly can you buy services? That's transactional. They're ready to buy, and their intent is to buy. Commercial intent is the 5 best plumbers in Las Vegas, the 5 most affordable plumbers in Las Vegas. It's a commercial. You're selling your services against someone else. It's different than transactional, different than navigational, different than informational. These are the 4 attributes that algorithm is based upon. Ranking is completely derived from those 4 things. When you start doing keyword research, you got to know what type of intent these words are going for, right? Some of them are naturally going to come across with your business, right? They're just going to be a part of the name, address, location. That's informational. But once you start building content, now you're going to want to start differentiating between transactional intent words and commercial intent words, and they're different. You got to know the difference, and you got to have a strategy for each one of those different types of intent words. So with that being said, if you want to get people to come to your website, got to understand the difference between search intent. You got to take your search intent and establish what's called EEAT: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. That is what you write in your content for those keywords that you're trying to get the intent for. Along with that, it's the basic sales funnel, AIDA: attention, interest, decision, action. Attention and interest is going to be your social platforms. Pinterest, Facebook, TikTok. It's all about awareness. The intent of those social medias is to create interest for them to come to your website, and that is where decision starts. When people come to your website, they need to be making a decision, and that decision is an action. Phone call, email, text. Give me something because I can solve the problem that you're looking for. Now, the other element that we also have to add into this equation is selling an emotion. Every company sells an emotion. This city that we're in right now sells an emotion. What is the emotion that your business is selling? And is it better than the emotion that your competition is selling? That is the philosophical dilemma that you got to look at and at least understand what is it that I'm selling and how can I sell it better by the emotion that I'm invoking to the company or the clients and customers that I'm trying to get, right? That's a real general breakdown of how you get people to come to your website. It is not simple, but it is a process, right? So this is how I explain how SEO works. SEO, at the very end, and I'll come over to this side, This seed is your business. It's your business idea. It's your website. It's brand new. You're loading in the domain. It's live on Google. And the process is how you grow the business over time. When you go live with your website, the dirt is Google. The problem that we see, or at least in an SEO world that I see, is everyone loves to look at the top of the plant. I've got a nice looking website. I've got social linking. I've got 300 views for my last YouTube video, right? And you might be here after 6 months. Things are going well. You think that things are, you're constantly posting on your social networks. But the SEOs care about the roots. The roots is your research, your backlinks, referring domains, your technical SEO, right? The biggest killer of them all when it comes to a website is the site load speed. Do you have a movie on your website? Do you have an MP4 that keeps on looping? I could tell you right now, that route is not growing because it's slow. You've got to find a way to look at what your website speed is, and if it's not speed to an efficient, optimized manner, you're going to want to take out that MP4. You want to take out videos, because if it's slow loading on a desktop, it's 3 times as slow as loading on your phone, and 80% of your customers are going to be coming to your phone anyway. So phone and desktop are 2 completely different strategies. It may be the same business, and it should be, but it should be looked at differently. You should be looking to cut anything you can from your desktop website and put it as efficiently as possible on your mobile site. Yes, question?
It's kind of deceiving when you're working on your own machine and you don't look anywhere else because the images might
Yep.
get memory load real fast.
It is.
You think it's all fine, but go look
It's a killer.
at somebody else's computer and it's like terrible.
It's a killer even on phones, Apple and against Androids. This is part of, it's not to stress you guys out for building a website business, but it's something that at least you know now that you have to pay attention to this stuff. If it's slow loading on your desktop, pull it up on your phone. And there are programs out there. The one that I use all the time is called GT Metrics. It will give you a letter grade to the speed of the load of your desktop. And if it's anything below a C, it'll tell you why it's a C. That MP4 of the person coming out of the plane or going into the limo, it's 400 megabytes to load, and it took 4.5 seconds to load. Of course you got a D rating. You got to get it out of there, right? So we're going to move on. So what I'm going to do for this lecture is I've compiled a list of categorized questions that I get on Reddit all the time, and I'm going to start knocking them out, right? So this first part here, how long does SEO take? Well, let's go back to this. From the plant, the seed, to here in Las Vegas, 1 year on average. Out of 50 industries that I've studied here in Vegas, it's 1 calendar year, right? The reason, a lot of these industries, people are moving in with their bigger performing websites, and they're getting in Las Vegas keywords just by the size of their website coming into Las Vegas, right? Pest control, real estate, law, they're all being infiltrated by companies that have an office here in Las Vegas. So they immediately get the #1 rank because this huge website happens to have a Las Vegas office, right? Doesn't mean that it's impossible to get #1 keywords in 1 year. It's not impossible. But for core industry, SEO'd, high volume keywords, it does take a long time. Certain industries, you're just not going to compete because that 1 year may be 10. Law, real estate, hospitality. You're going to want to look at something longer tailed, a specific type of hospitality, specific type of law, so that you can compete at a more condensed timeline. Next one, what is the ROI of SEO against PPC? I get this one all the time. ROI for PPC is very calculable. It's an ad, it's a landing page, it's a sales funnel. It can be changed on the hour. The ROI is very calculable within a week, right? It's very, very easy to do that conversion. SEO is different. In order for me to address SEO, the ROI of SEO, I got to look at the website first. You may have that MP4. You may have a 404 page not found on your website. You may have orphan pages. You may have grammatical errors. There's so much that needs to be looked at before we get your website to a basically qualified SEO element so that now I can calculate what does that ROI look like. It's just a different way of looking at ROI to get you to a qualified point so we can calculate it. You know what I mean? That's why SEO is really more complex than PPC, because there's so many other elements to it. Now, next question. Is SEO still relevant with so many other marketing channels available? Yes. So, this is going to be an interesting development in the next year, especially with Instagram. I just heard today that Instagram is going to be changing some of their policies on hashtags, and that they won't necessarily be followed anymore, and that AI is taking over the content and the placement of Instagram, which means Facebook gets that, which means TikTok gets it later, which means now SEO is a part of social media. You're going to want to look at your business with keyword research and search intent, like you just described, and derive posts to get intent for your content. Now, SEO for YouTube is not really going to be changed. That's been around for a while. SEOs that specialize, like myself, that specialize in YouTube, the content algorithm and structuring for YouTube is still pretty much the same. It gives you a longer list of choices, but it's more derived on the content of the channel and their views and their conversion, right? So the ones that are at the top for certain things will still be at the top, but it doesn't mean that you can't win in the shorts game. Shorts game is where it's going to be, right? Little videos, 20-second videos, 10-second videos. What is it that you do? But before you make that video, what is the intent? What is the keyword that you're trying to go for? What is the emotion that you're trying to sell? That's the homework that you got to do before you hit record, right? Other social media marketing platforms are going to be more specified to SEO than ever before. There are going to be people that be like, I don't know why I'm getting 5 likes. Well, what is it that you're making videos and content about? Let's be more specific. Let's try this type of content for 4 days. Change it up, change it up, change it up. Because we're trying to go for more than just one word. We're trying to sell content, right? Next question. So how can SEO help us compete with larger established companies? So for certain industries, hospitality, lawyers, real estate, they're dominated by 5 or 6 major companies that may have an office here in Las Vegas, or they've been here for 20, 30 years. If your industry has a competitive franchised business on top of it, that's a good thing. The bigger the business, the more weaknesses they have, right? What's the emotion that they're not selling? What's their content look like? Are they just trying to just keep this large net of their industry as plastered on people's faces as much as possible? Or is there something that you can specifically say about Las Vegas, about that industry in Las Vegas, that starts to chip at them? Because you know you got a year. You got a year for this thing to work with SEO. You got a year for it to work with the socials. You have 1 year to chip at that number one business, little by little by little. And it's not that hard. The bigger the business, the more things that they're not talking about, the more opportunities that they're missing, the more emotions that they're not selling. Well, capitalize on that. How would you do it differently? How would you look at what you do that is more customer facing, more integrated with understanding how Las Vegas works for your business? There's a lot of opportunities with bigger businesses that have #1 rankings because you can start tearing them apart. All right, next 4 questions. What are the most important factors we should focus on as a new company? Number 1 is your website load speed. Number 1. Gotta be number 1. Gotta look at it just download GT metrics for yourself and put your website on it. Just let yourself know where you're at right now. When you start setting up your new business, the second part that's important is your on page, but that's a distant second from your site speed, right? Because your on page is going to change over time. You're going to be saying things differently as you progress in your business, right? You're going to see that people aren't talking about selling this emotion or that emotion, but you put it this way in the first 30 days of your business. 60 days in, you can change it, right? It's important. But if it's not loading speed, if it's not loading right, if it's loading slow, and you know that it's loading slow, and you can see on your phone that it's just not orientated right, that's what's got to change first.
How about the subpages? Can they be slower loading?
Do you have a movie on it? And I know, maybe, yeah.
I'm an artist, so I have a lot of, like a little gallery.
Right, so galleries are okay because you have to link to like an Instagram gallery or like a photo gallery, right? So it automatically sets the parameters of each of those photos, so that's fine. Another killer is animations. If you have animations like rollover animations on your website and it looks good, don't get me wrong, I get it, it should look good, it looks great, but it slows everything down, and there's analytical reports that will tell you need to get rid of this, right? And especially on a phone. And think of your load speed. I'll use this analogy that I use with all my clients. Think of your website as a U-Haul truck. And everything that you put into it, this cool movie, this animation, this typeface, this color scheme, it adds weight to the U-Haul. And you got to get it down the road. And you see your competition that have basically took all those things and condensed it because they programmed it that way, and they made a little tiny area and they threw it into the U-Haul so it takes off. But you got to understand that everything that you add to your website slows it down over time, right? You just got to be, and the thing is, sometimes it's just better to have bare bones right now and build it up with the things that you'll learn, because you'll learn a lot in 60 days as opposed to the first 15 of your business website. So grow with it, right? Next question. Should we prioritize SEO during website development or after launching? Should be done before. If you're looking at starting a business and you have an idea for your business, what is it that you want to do with this thing? Keyword development, competitive analysis, right? Search results analysis. This is stuff that you can do to give yourself an idea. Does this have weight? Can I sell it differently? And what do I need to look at are the most important keywords for this business right now? It's going to change, but yes, as you launch, you will be changing over and over and over again. And the thing is, this is where SEOs are going to start being pushed out of marketing and becoming kind of an independent consultant. I've already seen it already, and I already have experienced this already, where it's almost as if SEOs are going to be kind of like a website doctor. We're going to be able to look at a website and see what's strong with it, what's weak with it, and what needs to be done to beef it up against other competition, right? It's getting there, and AI is certainly helping us. Because I have a lot to say about AI in the next few slides, that it's going to be like, well, of course SEO is not dying because of AI. But we'll get to that. Next question, what are the biggest mistakes startups make with SEO? Not enough research. Now again, if you have partners and you're building a website, fine. Build it and send it out into the ether and figure it out as you go. But in discovery phase of your business, What is it that you are selling? Who are you up against, and how can you sell it better, right? And again, there's a lot of things about SEO that is continuous, but in the beginning of a business, research is key. It has to be done. You can use AI to do some of the work for you, but a lot of the time it's a pad and paper and answering the 5 W's of what your business is. What's your name? Why are you doing this? Where can people find you? How are they going to find you? What makes you different? You answer those 5 questions in the first 3 weeks of starting your business, you will be in a very good position for keyword research. You will know exactly what you need to do, right? But some people are just, we'll just go. Let's go. Okay? But that's what I see as the biggest mistakes that startups make without consulting an SEO, right? Next question. Do you need to hire an SEO expert, or can you manage SEO in-house? You can do it on your own. There are a lot of AI tools that will sell you what good SEO is. Now, does it mean that you have to go out and start interviewing SEOs to have one in your team? No, but you do need to know one. You do need to have contact with one. You need to be able to call one that you trust and say, hey, it's the end of the month. Can you give me a quick audit on my website? Can you give me a quick speed look breakdown of my desktop? Cool. Hang up the phone, invoice, boom, you get your report. I want to do a round of keyword research. I want to do competitive analysis for this keyword. Boom, click. That's easy for me. That's a couple hours of work. But that's the thing, is that, like I said before, SEOs are starting to break away. The ones that are defeating AI consistently are really starting to push themselves into a self-practice as opposed to just being part of marketing. They're doing something very, very different, and they're starting to pull themselves away. All right, next one. What is technical SEO, and how important is it for a small startup? Technical SEO is the 404 page not found, 501 page misdirects. This is the website DNA of a business. If your business, like we said again, I'll say it again, site speed is everything, right? Site speed comes into technical SEO. That's one of the first things I look at, right? From that, does the buttons that work on your website, do they go to where they need to go? Is the grammar correct, right? Do you have backlinks? Backlinks are missed all the time, and it's easy to get 100 backlinks in a month if you know someone that can get you 100 backlinks in a month. Within the first year of your business, you should be around 200 to 300 backlinks, right? And it's consistent. It's industry directories, it's local directories, it's national directories, it's yellow pages, Chamber of Commerce. Those are easy layup backlinks that when it comes, and the reason why backlinks are so important is if you're going for content for a word, a keyword, and someone else is writing something along those lines, and they have 5 backlinks, and you have 50, who's going to rank higher? The person with 50. The reason for that is called domain rating. Domain rating is a calculable number given by Ahrefs, and Google has their own algorithm for domain rating. And one of the factors is backlinks, referring domains, keywords, and monthly site visits. The more you have, the higher you rank. And your content may not be as good as someone that's got 5 backlinks. But because you did the work on the backlink development, now you can start to see yourself go from position 20 for that keyword, position 15, position 6, over time, right? That's how backlinks only help you. Now, there are bad backlinks, and there are backlinks that are actually can get your website shut down. But again, this is where a good SEO that knows backlink development will actually set you up for the right backlinks within a year, right out, so that you want to make sure that you're hitting the ground running, right? Backlinks are so important with technical SEO. So, how do we optimize mobile users and site speed? Well, this is going to come down to the report of your site speed on mobile. Certain Wix, WordPress, certain of the hosting elements have their own window for how it looks on mobile, right? You want to make sure that certain elements, like the little 3 hashes on the corner that go to call or social, stuff like that, that those are actually filled out right. But you want to make sure that you look at your hero section, the very top of your website, and make sure that it's condensed. Because in mobile SEO, you get 3 swipes, right? That's all that you get. If the person is not convinced that that they're going to be interested in your business, your product, in 3 swipes, you've lost them. They'll click off, right? It's the same thing with desktop. 3 scrolls of the mouse. That's all you get. So your copy, your on page, your buttons, within 3 swipes should be there, and you should have an attention or decision and an action within that time frame. Now, there's also other elements of a website that if someone's scrolling down past it, you want to have your testimonials, you want to have your reviews, you want to have your final attempt on your homepage to say, I'm the best at what I do, and you need to talk to me, or this is better than what's out there in the marketplace. But again, 3 swipes, that's all you get, right? And I can definitely see that through heat mapping. Heat mapping will show me where people have clicked on a website. And I can actually see the scroll number on desktop and mobile. And across the board, it's 3. So always keep that in mind, that whatever you want to break down into a customer, get it in 3 swipes. Get them to make a decision in 3 swipes. Okay. How do we optimize for mobile users and site speed? Again, you want to make sure that you look at what you have for your desktop and break it down to more bare bones on your mobile. You want to make sure, because this is industry-wide, is that most 80% of the people that are going to find your business are going to find it on their phone anyway, right? Certain industries, it's 50-50. Certain industries, it's 80 the other way, more desktop. But always keep in mind that more people are going to be looking for you on your phone than on your desktop. So break it down, make it easy for yourself. Get your copy as quickly said as you need to. This is what I do, this is why I'm good at it, this is how you contact me, right? What metrics should we track to measure SEO success? Google Analytics, Google Search Console. It's free when you start your website. It's downloadable, it's easy to look at. Just for the number stuff, me as an SEO, I go way into it and do reporting, and I do statistical analysis. Here's the difference between them. Google Analytics is going to tell you how many people have come to your website, where they came from. Did they come from your phone? Did they come from your desktop? Did they come from a social? What social network did they come from? Did they come from clicking on your social network to your website? How long were they there? What did they do? Google Search Console will tell you the words that are associated for you to appear somewhere from page 1 to page 10 on the search results page. Google Analytics is about the website. Google Search Console is about the wording that was used. Both of them together will tell you pretty much 90% of how your website is doing. Your load speed, your site speed, that will be done in Google Search Console under the Google Web Vitals. It's down at the bottom, and it'll tell you a nice score based on your desktop and your mobile as to how it ranks. That's what you need just to get started, right? How do we know if our SEO efforts are working? Phone rings, and you start getting emails, you start getting texts. That's how you know it's working. SEO stops once you get the phone call. SEO stops once you pick up the phone and it's a customer asking about what you do. All my efforts are to get that point for my clients. After that, it's on you. That's it. It doesn't get any more easier than that. Everything that we do, all the development, all the research is to get that phone call, is to get that email, is to get that text. After that, it's your customer service, right? So, how do we adopt our SEO strategy to keep up with algorithm updates? Oh, the algorithm. All right. The algorithm is not this Illuminati machine. It really is just one of the best search history predictors that we have. It's not going to take over the world. It only rewards the websites that have earned the reward. They've been around the longest. They've had the highest domain rating. They answer the inquiry for your results page the best. That's how Google rewards. So when you look, and again, let's look at what the search result page really is when it comes to your business. That's your battlefield. You can tell right away who's number one, right? It's right there for you to see. You can see their title tag, you can see their meta description, and you can look at what they have said without even clicking on their website to see, can you say it better? Is there more that you can add to that title tag that you can differentiate yourself here in Las Vegas as a local business, or as a regional, or as a national? The search results page will tell you everything that you need to know. You just got to look at who's number one, who's number two, number three, right? Algorithm updates are going to happen no matter what. And honestly, for the next 6 months, algorithm updates are going to affect AI more than anything else. It's already starting to take it out, right? Because AI is starting to follow a certain linguistical pattern, and Google is starting to recognize that, and it's not ranking AI-generated content, which means it's great for you guys that are starting a business, because AI is written to impress you. You are writing to impress your customers. Very, very different, and it has to be looked at that way. If you want to hit the ball rolling, if you want to start ranking in 3 months, taking out AI and just looking at what people are saying already and saying it better, you're going to start going up, right? Along with the process of backlinks and reaching out and getting socials put in together with that same intent, you can see results very quickly, right? But it's not as quick as what AI is telling you it can do, right? AI is great for a Band-Aid, but you want to get your sleeves rolled up and you want to start digging into this. You want to start to build something that has equity and has evergreen content and actually can stand on its own. That's why it's so important to do the research and figure out how you want to be different. Okay, I think this is my last one. How can SEO scale as we grow a website and business? This is a very good question because SEOs love the beginning of a business because there's so much that can be done. Oh, we need to work on the backlinks. Oh, we need to work on social content and referring and all this stuff. And I'll make a video about this and let's do about this. Well, let's look at it 6 months. 6 months means you have 6 months of data. We literally would know. I know within 6 months of taking on a new client what we're not talking about anymore, right? And that's really the end of how this whole thing works. In the beginning, we don't know what other people, our customers, are looking to work with us for. In 6 months, we do. You know your audience. You know your age group. You know the platforms that they're on. You know the topics that they're looking at that aren't associated with their business, which is called adjacent audiences. That's a huge thing because if you can't get them as a customer with a direct audience search content or content, you can go after the adjacent audiences. What else do they like to do? And put your business into those audiences and say, hey, this is what I do, right? As you scale, the numbers grow gradually over time. It's not fast towards the end of the year, okay? There are up and down months in SEO. There's SEOs, clients that I've had that 50 visits in 3 months and then down to 40 But from that, we see how the content and how the audience adjusted, so then we make the adjustment for the next month. Now you're up to 70. Now you're up to 90. It's always a continuous process because it's a turtle. It is so slow. But it also depends on if you're looking for fast results, because you need fast results, PPC, that's what it's there for. You got to pay to play. You got to rent it. And that's fine. But if you're looking for evergreen, earning that first keyword, you're not going to you can rent it with PPC, but you got to earn it with SEO. Okay? So, what is the role of AI in automation and modern SEO? Oh, this is a good one. So, AI programs that are out there, they're great. Absolutely wonderful how the tech world has automated a lot of things that can be done to start a website and create content for 1 year, right? But AI is starting to get into the SaaS industry, right? You got to log into this AI. Here's your pricing for the month. This is what we'll do for you. And that's great. But SaaS industries are also getting customers that are all over the world, and it starts to put too many spoons into the soup. Because you may be here selling certain product here in Las Vegas, but someone else that just bought the same AI SaaS access in Phoenix is selling the same thing. And they're putting in close to the same prompts. So their website, your website are going to look very similar. And you're going to put that online, and you're going to go live with it, and you're going to be looking at 1-2 visits a month. Whereas if you looked differently into the research of your business, you would see that maybe a lot of the businesses that are ranking right now are kind of the same verbiage and kind of the same layout. And you're like, and this might be page 2, 3, 4, or 5. That should give you a clue that maybe you should be different by building something different. Talking about different things, selling a different emotion, working on transactional search intent and commercial search intent, as opposed to putting in a prompt with AI and getting what you got, right? There's nothing wrong with it when it comes to content creation. AI is really good at it. Facebook posts, fine. Gemini for your Instagram, Gemini, I wouldn't do Gemini for your YouTube, but some people do. It's good at getting things done in quantity. But in the beginning of your business, you need quality. You got to focus on, you want to post on Instagram. Who are you trying to get attention from? How are you going to get their attention with this post? It ain't going to be a post about your dog, and it ain't going to be a post about you going down the strip. But what is it that you want to make your message for? And how can you say it today? And how are you going to say it tomorrow? And how are you going to say it by the end of the week? Right? And this is the last one. And I'm going to put a fork in this right now. Voice search optimization. We can kiss it goodbye. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't exist. It's been killed by the SEO community within the last month and a half because AI has taken over the speakers and the Amazon Echoes. It doesn't even rank. So we cleaned it. We gave it a burial and we said no more search, voice search optimization. Doesn't exist anymore, right? Any questions? I know I covered a lot of questions. Yes?
So ChatGPT is becoming a new search engine. In fact, even if I have paid version of ChatGPT, but even if the free version, still there is extension. So what is your opinion or your experience with that?
With the extensions of ChatGPT?
The fact that ChatGPT becomes search engine and ChatGPT doesn't have its own content.
Right.
There is good quality articles feed.
Yep.
ChatGPT.
So you're
They don't give us any credit for it.
So SearchGPT, which is going to be launched next year, is going to be a very interesting search engine that will stub the toe of Google.
Yeah.
It will. It's going to be great But again, it doesn't have enough weight behind Google does. You know what I mean? So it's just going to stub the toe for a little while. Are people going to be using SearchGPT to find the best plumber in Las Vegas? No, they're always going to go back to Google because Google offers more. They offer the local map pack. There's no map pack in SearchGPT. It's only words based upon an algorithm update, right? So it's looking at, it has to grab from Google anyway to give you the results on SearchGPT, right?
So last time I saw it displayed that we read Bing.
Bing, yeah?
I would think they read the input is Google, but the message came up, we read Bing. Well,
Right. It's interest, yeah. So the SearchGPT is going to be running off searching Google, Bing, and Yandex, right? Yandex is Chinese Google, right? Russian? You're right. Russian Google. They are going to be running off grabbing that within your search inquiry. But again, it's going to be starting, and they only predict that the market share that SearchGPT is going to be less than like 5% of average users, right? Of daily users. Google, it's just going to stub the toe. It's a great system. Now, in 10 years from now, maybe SearchGPT is going to be really good. But again, Google is $1 trillion company because they offer paid ads. SearchGPT is free right now, and it's only searching off the algorithm, searching from those search engines, right? That's why it's $1 trillion company. SearchGPT is coming out next year, and it's only going to stub its toe. It's just not going to help. But it's going to be cool to look at. Yes?
Can I add something to that? So even right now, if you use the paid version of ChatGPT, and there is a Chrome extension for the search portion of it, and how it works is almost just like SEO, right? It still works with the keyword you give to it. It still works with the intent and relevance of those keywords, and it gives you still the almost like the top ranking results of the Google, Bing, and Yandex, and all of them. So even when the search GPT comes, it's still going to have somewhat of a SEO aspect to it, because otherwise even the AI can't search any other way. So it's still going to be almost like an SEO.
well, so far on all my websites, number of clicks is dropping and I'm watching every day. And where do they all go? They go to ChatGPT because people can get it through ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It gives you links there too,
Yep.
to go to the actual website. So you
SearchGPT will be doing that, yeah. It'll be doing that soon. Because it has to give a reference. It can't just take Google's results without giving a reference to the result on Google at the very bottom. It has to do that. Otherwise, it's a copyright issue. It has to do that. It has to do that, right? Otherwise, it's stealing at that point. You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah.
We don't get any credit. I think these super good articles, so much research done in writing these articles, we don't get any credit.
Right. So yeah, if you're looking for specific articles, peer-reviewed journals, stuff like that, yeah, it's got to give a reference at the bottom of it. It may tell you what the what that actual title is, but it has to give a reference points to it. Otherwise, it's a copyright infringement. You know.
The same pilot, H pilot, if you will ask pilot H, it also doesn't give you a reference.
Interesting. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions at all? I think we got a little bit more time.
Contact information.
Contact information. That is my name, and my website is SEOExpertLasVegas.com. I don't see you pulling out your phone. I know. SEO Expert Las Vegas.com.
Great domain selection.
I know.
When you type in this, if you're looking for SEO expert in Las Vegas, he's gonna come up.
There you go. On all the platforms too.
Great presentation.
Oh, thank you.
My neck hurts from shaking.
You're having a seizure. Well, when ending, I'm going to give you guys one more piece of SEO intelligence that is going to be very beneficial if you're starting a website or have one already and you want to be ahead of the game of Google. So, people have been sleeping on this social platform for months and years, right? And if you start an account and you start contributing to it, you will be surprised how farther in the content that you could derive from this one social platform. You give it 6 months and you start building your own reputation into it. Reddit. So this is what you do. I'm going to give you intel about this. Start a Reddit account. Whatever your business is, you start following every subreddit involved with your business, including ones in Las Vegas. You start contributing to every question in Reddit. You give your...
You just said, back up a sentence there.
What's that?
Back up a sentence.
What?
Clarify that a little.
So you go onto Reddit and you start an account, a personal, just a name. You go and when you set up the profile, it'll ask if there's topics that you can join, right? Las Vegas tourists, Las Vegas logos, whatever. But you join those, and you join ones that are in your industry, right? All of them. And what you do is you start going into those every day, every once in a while, but you should be consistent with it, and you start adding your 2 cents to every question. This is what you think. And the longer and concise of an answer you can give, the more karma you get. Once you get up to 50 to 100 karma, you start your own subreddit. And you invite the people that you were commenting with into your own subreddit. And now you have them. And then you can start isolating them and start selling to them because you own your own subreddit. Right? This is as top line intel that happens right now, right? The other one is Pinterest. But Pinterest only follows if your demographic is women, ages 35 to 50, married with kids. Because Pinterest's audience skyrockets from Friday afternoon to Sunday afternoon. And they're on Pinterest on their tablet, on their phone, because their husband's watching football and they're looking for things to keep them occupied. So that's only if your business falls in the demographic of women, right? If you can sell to women, you create your posts and your pins, redirect to your website, put it all out on Thursday night. There you go.
Reddit is definitely going for right now. Definitely. Reddit is low.
Reddit is huge.
And Reddit ads are going to be...
They're gonna be more expensive next year. Yeah. But if you gave yourself 6 months by those 2 things, if your company or your business does not follow with women, that's fine. Don't worry about Pinterest. But if you do know people that are actually working on selling crafts, selling services for women, serving anything that deals with women, you are missing out on Pinterest. And the ad space is dirt cheap. It's so cheap right now. And the thing is that you calculate your campaigns Friday morning to Sunday afternoon. Don't worry about Monday through Thursday. You just turn it off. And you build up for Thursday. And that's it. And it's not theory. I think I've read like 4 case studies where guys are doing this. And it takes off. It takes off in a matter of months. Just because they find that sweet spot. Now, it doesn't mean that the other socials are obtuse. It's just, I mean, Facebook is good for establishing your EAT, right? Your expertise, experience, authoritative, and trustworthiness. It's good at doing that if you find and follow the right groups. Instagram and TikTok are great for awareness. They're good for getting yourself out there. TikTok more than Instagram, because Instagram's going to start AIing all their ranking anyway. Snapchat's great if your audience is in high school and younger. But there's a place for it. I mean, there's an absolute place for it. And then, what other socials are there? There's Twitch. You know, I've seen Twitch channels that have nothing to do with gaming and are like accountants. So because it's QuickBooks, right? And think about it, it's brilliant, because they would create a Twitch account and they would just screen their QuickBooks and bookkeeping monitor, and they would just start doing in calculations and putting in payroll. And again, it depends on how crazy you want this to work. You would be surprised if you just tried it, but you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But Twitch has a very relevant gaming community, but that's not the end of it. There's always a place for somebody to come in and do something differently and just grab a little more referral clicks to your website from that over time. And a couple more, and a couple more, and a couple more. And it adds up over time. What was that?
Tech communities.
Yeah, tech communities. You know, even GitHub, but GitHub being for programming. But here's another thing too. If your website and your business, if you can develop a free tool for your business that calculates or gets person to a questionnaire, an app that's free development, and put it into your website within the first 1/3, the statistics on conversion on leads just from that alone is better than any cold email, any cold call, any lead generation program that exists, because people are obsessed with free tools. And if you just asked for a phone number or an email to get this free tool, that's all you need. But you got to develop a free tool for it, right? You develop free tools?
That's what I do. You do SEO and then I do everything else.
But you know, I don't know if you've seen that case study where they were talking about cold email outreach and then free tools. Like, if you could develop the free tool.
Lead magnets and the lead generation, the lead capture funnels, and the conversion afterwards.
Excellent. I know, I've seen some of your lectures. Any other questions? I think we'll wrap this up right now. Thank you very much for hanging out all day to hear me talk and all that fun stuff. But thank you very much. Thank you for your questions. And if you have any questions for me, I'll be hanging out here for a little bit. So thank you very much.